Hello, this is Mr. Roboto with a follow-up on the earlier picks. I'm going to address the controversy, quote unquote, regarding the picks of running backs. So in particular, just to show you where I'm at, you click RoboCheat, tab, you click RoboCheat, and that takes you to the running backs. And this is a PPR league that I'm looking at right here. And here is the quote unquote controversial pick, the Jeremy Langford. Sometimes he appears in the first tier, other times like here he's in the second tier. Don't see any controversy here. What Robo is telling you to do is wait until the 50th pick of the draft. WUP, wait until pick. So Robo is saying he's a sleeper. In other words, he's underrated quite a bit. That's what this number, this delta number means. It's the Robo thinks he should be around an 8th pick in the draft, and his ADP is 54, and so the delta is 46. Not controversial at all to pick up Jeremy Langford in the 4th or 5th round as a sleeper. If he produces at the same level as Forte did last year, then you're going to be very happy. That's a great sleeper. And so what are the factors that contribute to whether or not he's going to be able to do that? You can click if you want to understand, what goes into RoboCheat. You can come here. You click Help. So what goes into that pick? Well, your scoring system. So that varies in this case it's a PPR league. Prior performance. So based upon 2 years of data. Now, he doesn't have much prior performance, but the Bears do, and so they know that Robo knows that system. What else? Opponent strength right here. That's one thing when you hear from fantasy predictors, they're really not considering the opponent's strength as much as they should. Chicago has a favorable schedule this year. All right, so depth chart position, obviously, risk of injury. He did not play last year, so he doesn't have as high a risk of injury as somebody who played full 16 games. So these other factors, your league setup, prior performance against that team, that's related to opponent strength, but it looks at particular kinds of matchups. And here's the big one, coaching strategy. They're not going to go with an RBBC if they don't have to. Robo also factors in many other factors. But yeah, RBBC is a strategy of last resort. Coaches, it makes them more predictable. If they can go with a feature back, they will go with a feature back. So back to RoboCheat. The other controversial pick was for the New York Giants, the number 1 running back position. For the New York Giants, Robo is saying is going to do phenomenally well. And right now, that person is Jennings. And so there's the delta, and there's the wait until pick. So saying Jennings should be picked up around the 73rd pick is not controversial. Saying he's a sleeper may be controversial. He's in another situation. Is he going to hold on to that? Is he going to be the feature back? Well, coaches want to make a feature back, and so I recommend handcuffing Rashad. I recommend handcuffing Hankerson if you can, because excuse me, did I say Hankerson? I meant to say Langford. So you just need to spend a last round pick to handcuff these guys, and you'll be fine. And if you can hold on to the Chicago running back number 1 position and the New York Giants number 1 running back position, then you'll be as happy as if you held on to the Washington number 1 QB position last year, which Robo told you to pick up. In that situation, you would have come here, you looked at the quarterbacks in the top tier, you would have seen RG3. Well, that people said was crazy. What RoboCoach is saying is the Washington system is going to produce a quarterback that's going to produce tons of points. RG3 is an injury risk, so you need to handcuff him. Yes, there's a situation where you needed to handcuff a quarterback simply to hold on to that number 1 quarterback position in Washington. When you got Kirk Cousins, you were very, very happy. And here's another example. Cam Newton last year RoboCoach picked him to be the number 1 overall quarterback in the top tier, and that was controversial at the time. But these same factors that I'm talking about today were in Cam's favor last year. He had a weak schedule. He had a system that produced tons of points. And so last year I got the same sort of responses from people who were disputing the Cam Newton pick. RoboCoach's pick of Cam Newton was too high. Well, that just wasn't the case, and it was borne out in 2015 performance. So in regard to the strategy, it's not very controversial to say that these players are sleepers. You just got to go with them. You got to have the handcuffs for those players. And if you're able to hold on to the Chicago number 1 and the New York Giants number 1 running back position by doing that, then you will be very happy. Thanks for listening. Please click like.